Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Jeff's Baking Blog. Today I'm going to be making some more friands. Today it's going to be raspberry friands, but using a mixture of ground almonds and ground hazelnuts. So I'll call them hazelnut and raspberry friands. Basically, friands are usually made just with ground almonds and flour, but these hazelnuts should give them a slightly different taste. I got the idea again from the Guardian's 20 best cake recipes, but I'm using my own version of the recipe rather than the one that they gave, because the mixture of ingredients is slightly different. So for the ingredients, I have 225 grams of icing sugar, which I have sifted, and I'm going to put into that 50 grams of plain flour and 60 grams of ground almonds, and then 90 grams of ground hazelnuts. Now I've ground these hazelnuts myself, and so they're a little bit coarser than you might buy in a shop, but that will be fine. And then we just stir that together, trying not to make too much of a cloud of icing sugar. And what I also have is the whites of 6 medium eggs. That would be large in the USA, of course. And I have 185 grams of melted butter, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and I have about 200 grams of fresh raspberries. It may not need quite all of those. So having just mixed our dry ingredients together, I'm going to lightly whisk the eggs until they're a little bit frothy. That's good enough. Now, I have my oven preheating at 200 Celsius, that's 180 Celsius with a fan, 400 Fahrenheit. And I have a friand tin, which I have greased. Now, you don't need to use a friand tin, you could use a muffin tin just as well. But I've greased this friand tin, ready to take the batter. So, I'm going to just pour my vanilla extract into the eggs, and then simply pour the eggs into the flour mixture, and I'm going to mix that round until it's all combined. I also have here, of course, 50 grams of very roughly chopped hazelnuts, again, which I've chopped myself. You could use flaked or shaved hazelnuts if you can get them. They're going to be sprinkled on the top with the raspberries. So you just mix the eggs into the hazelnuts and almonds and flour mixture. And then, when you've mixed that all together, you pour in your 185 grams of melted butter, and you mix that in until it's fully combined. It does take a while, but it will mix in. Now in the Guardian recipe that I saw, it actually put all the ingredients into the bowl at the same time, including the melted butter. But in all the friands I've ever made, and all the recipes I've seen, other than that, the butter is added at the end. So that's what I'm going to do, as always. As you can see, that butter is incorporating nicely. And there's a few little lumps in here, but that's most probably where I ground the hazelnuts, and they're not as fine as you might buy if you can buy ground hazelnuts in a shop. Right. So, having done that, the next thing to do is to transfer the mixture and divide it evenly into our friand tin. And it's a runny mixture. So, having divided the mixture fairly evenly into our friand tin or our muffin tin, that one's a little bit low, it doesn't matter. What I'm going to do is just drop some raspberries in, maybe about 3 into each one. I may have too many raspberries here, but it doesn't matter. They're nice and fresh. Okay. So, having put our raspberries in, I'm now going to take these, and they're chopped, but they're very roughly chopped, and I'm just going to sprinkle a few, these are hazelnuts of course, just a few onto the top. And hopefully the friand batter will rise up around the raspberries and the hazelnuts a little bit. I think that's about it. Right, so I'm then going to bake those in the oven for between 20 and 22 minutes, and then I'll test them with a skewer and take them out if they're coming out clean. If it's coming out clean. If not, I'll bake them a little bit longer, but I think 20 to 22 minutes should be enough. So when I've taken them out and let them cool down, I'll be back with you to show you the results. Okay, so I'm back with you now, and I've baked our friands. So I have this one here, and I'll bake them for the full 22 minutes. I break it open. It's nice and moist inside because some of the juice from the raspberry has leached out into the friand. Oh, that is actually very, very good indeed. You've got the crunch of the hazelnut on top, the moistness inside, and then the hit of raspberry as well. Yes, that's worked out very well indeed. So, that's it for this recipe. I do hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, please give me the thumbs up. Also, click to subscribe to my YouTube channel. In the top right hand corner of the screen there will be an eye that you can click on to get the recipe, and I'll also put a link below the video so that you can click that to get the recipe as well. And I will be back with you with another recipe in the very near future. So until then, happy baking.